Hi everyone and welcome to In the Sewers. This is a series where I talk to bands varying in genres of rock and ask them how they got started, what they've got going on, what plans they have for the future, and yeah, just having a bit of a natter. We've talked about some amazing things and I can't wait to share them with you all. In this week's episode, I am chatting to a London-based trashy glam punk sleazy metal band that is Continental Lovers. The guys took the time out to chat to me about how they got started, the plans that they have on 2024, some of their not so guilty pleasures but bands that they thoroughly enjoy, as well as their plans for their appearance at Winter Rocks Festival at the Corporation in Sheffield this weekend. So let's have a look at what we got talking about. Hi guys, thank you for joining Glamrat in the Sewers. How is everybody doing?
All right.
Awesome, yeah, really good.
All good.
Thank you.
All good, thank you.
I'm enjoying the neons in the background there, Kerry. Those are great.
Oh,
Yeah.
my.
Kerry, that's what you call it now.
This is boudoir.
It's my boudoir, yeah. It's my private boudoir.
It's lovely. I like it. I like it. Well, I'll tell you what, why don't you introduce yourselves to everybody who isn't familiar with who you guys are?
Hi, I'm Joe, lead vocals, guitar, and we are Continental Lovers.
And I'm Ben. I am the second guitar player in Continental Lovers.
I'm Kerry, the only bass player, I suppose.
The one and only bass
One
player.
and
That's
only.
I
But
sometimes make some bassy notes.
How would you describe your sound, guys? Because I always think you guys are quite, you're like hard rocky, trashy, punky, glammy kind of. You like quite a nice little mesh of things, which I think is very appealing to everybody.
I think you've described us quite well, to be honest. I think, yeah, we kind of think of ourselves as a bit of a glam punk band, really. So a lot of our influences are like the early proto-punk stuff, like New York Dolls, Johnny Thunders, the Stooges, Dead Boys, that kind of thing. And then sort of more the early 80s stuff like Dogs D'Amour, Hammer Rocks, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I think what you've just, how you've summed us up there is pretty perfect, really.
Yeah. Trashy, mainly, yeah.
Trashy, yeah.
I love the term trashy. I think it's great. I don't think it's a bad word at all because, everything can be so spit shiny and polished. And sometimes that's just not what you want to be. You want to be a bit down and dirty and trashy sometimes.
You're right.
So how did you guys started, really? How did you guys come together to become lovers of the Continental?
Shall I answer this one as well? I guess it makes sense. This band started out as a solo project for me. So early 2021, I had a shit experience with my last band. So I decided I was going to just do a solo project. I was never going to gig. So I kind of recorded some songs, started putting them out on Spotify and things, and had loads of interest. So thought I better put a band together. So I put a band together. Two of those members of the band aren't in the band anymore. So for whatever reasons, one got pregnant, and that happens, doesn't it? And the other one was just mental, so I had to get rid of him straight away. So we've been gigging, this line has been gigging 12 months. So we're actually still quite a new band, I think. So we kind of put our yeah, absolutely. So our first record officially came out January this year. So yeah, I think we're a new baby band, really. Still, we're pretty new. And then I suppose Kerry I've known off and on for a few years, but never played in a band with. And when our bass player Debbie went on maternity leave permanently, I asked Kerry to come and play bass. So he had one rehearsal with us, and then we ended up doing five gigs back to back in a week. So he still stuck around. And then we decided we'd flesh ourselves out as a 4-piece. So we asked Ben. Ben joined the band about 12 months ago, pretty much. So yeah, so this line has been together about 12 months.
I mean, you guys have done a lot over the summer as well. You've been, like you said, you dropped your single in January and you've done a bit of this and a bit of that. And you are gaining quite a nice, tidy following behind you as well.
And I would say to not too much hard work on our part. I suppose, these guys wouldn't say that's like untrue. I think it's just kind of really naturally happened. Like, obviously we're hardworking and everything, but things have just come together like very nicely.
I think the other thing, sort of note on that, is this year. How many gigs have you done this year, Joe? It's got to be like 17, something like that.
I think we're on 19, 20 now.
Yeah. So for the first 6 months of this year, we had like we had a couple of days where we recorded a bit, but for the rest of the year, all we've done is gig more or less every 2 or 3 weeks, back to back, and it has been quite far and wide. You know, we've gone as far as Rockmantic this year, sorry, to Carl. Oh, cheers, dude. Nice one. Thank you. Just get yourself here.
Yeah.
My sister
Great
just dropped in.
service.
I need an assistant, man. What's that about?
Yeah, cheers, mate. Nice one. So you know, we played at Rockmantic in February. That was all the way up in Carlisle. We've done plenty down in London. We've been down to Brighton. We've been all over really. So I think, you know, getting that small following together and people sort of going, oh, you know, I want to go and see Continental Lovers. They're local to me now, you know. I think that's gone a way to help that, as just going out and just gigging as much as we can, really.
I don't think there's too many. Sorry, I don't think it's like too many bands that are doing like our sort of area of rock. In the UK, there's like a lot of European bands and stuff that are doing it.
Yeah, it is quite a small network here in the UK of, like you said, trash, glammy, sleazy, metally kind of things, because obviously there's HRH sleaze, and when that does happen every year, it is a lot more of Swedish, Finnish kind of lot. So do you think maybe it's something that the UK is crying out for? It just needs that punch back, especially with the Dogs D'Amour and things like that.
Definitely. I think it's kind of cyclical with this sort of genre of music. So, you know, there was a bit of a revival early 2000s of this kind of thing. So maybe it comes around every 20 years. So maybe we're due it now. And I think that Sleaze, for example, it needs new bands every year to play it. You need something different. So you're right. Kerry's absolutely right. We know a lot of bands who we're friends with and we admire who are kind of from Scandinavia or Germany and that sort of thing. And in this country, I can't really think of many bands who are doing exactly what we do. We're sort of trapped in a good and a bad place sometimes, because we're kind of like, we fit in with punk music quite a bit, but I don't really consider us a punk band. And we end up playing with lots of hard rock bands, but you know, a lot of the hard rock bands we play with, we're nothing like. But
I wouldn't have said you fell into that category that much, that often, really.
No, I think, and so it's good and bad for us. It means we get to play with lots of different bands, but we don't play with many bands who are really our kind of thing, I suppose. It's tricky.
Yeah, because you guys are very unique in what you're doing. But like you said, if you do fall into those categories, at least when you guys are doing a big, huge tour of the UK, you've got plenty ports of call that you can, you know, grab on people. Is that something you guys are wanting to do in 2024? Have a bit of a tour thing going on? Or is it new music? Or what do you feel like doing in this new, fast approaching coming year?
Well, I think it's all those things really. We're working on new music at the moment. We're going to be recording in a few weeks, and we are going on tour in April in the UK with a support for another band. So we're doing 9 or 10 dates with them, and at the moment we're just finalising going to Europe at the end of January as well. So we've got lots of stuff happening. So I think next year will be really busy for us, but it's important that we stay busy, because Kerry said just now we've kind of managed to achieve a lot without doing a promotion, if you know what I mean. We just kind of, things happen for us, which is nice. But I think now we're getting to the stage where we've got a bit of a following and got a bit of a reputation that we kind of need to keep on top of it, and we need to sort of probably need a bit of outside support to help us with that, keep that momentum going. But yeah, we're going on tour in the UK sort of mid-April, isn't it? I think we starts middle of April.
Yeah, April, May, isn't it? Springtime.
Yeah.
Lovely. So just before like the big bad festival season kind of happens. So is there any festivals that you are really looking forward to next year that you think, do you know what, I really want to get on top of that. I want to be a part of that.
Sleaze definitely next year. Yeah. We're on next year. I think we really want to get out of the country, don't we? And do a bit in Europe.
I wouldn't want to hang about here late. Not much going on around here.
Yeah, especially in November. I mean,
right
now,
I think the other thing as well, I think on the festival scene that we're probably more aligned to, I think there is some fantastic little festivals coming up, isn't there? I mean, I know, you know, Raz has done Rockmantic for near enough a decade, but last week we played his first Rockmantic in Grimsby. Yeah. That was awesome. He's started doing Call of the Wild. That's a great small festival. You know, we played that this year. That was fantastic. There's Stone Dead Festival as well, which has just gone up and up and up, you know. So the festival scene and festival season in the UK for small bands like ourselves and everyone else within the scene and the sort of level at which we play is, I think it is great in this country. I think it's fantastic, really. There's people out there, you know, pushing new music, pushing different bands and stuff like that. So yeah, it's great, really. There's lots to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, mentioning Baz and what he's doing as well, you guys are playing Winter Rocks this weekend. I think you're on Saturday night. Are you headlining the second stage? Is that right?
We are.
That's correct, yeah.
Are you looking forward to it? You're going to be big bad boy headliners. Look at that.
It's going to be our last gig of the year. So, because, yeah, it is our last gig of the year, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I mean, great venue, a venue I've not played for years. Yeah, it's just gonna be great. It's gonna be a big party. I think, like, you know, we one good thing about us is we not only do we enjoy playing, and I think we're a good live band and what have you, but we always have a good time as well. We'll always like to go out and, you know, entertain people, but we like to hang out and have a good time. So I think it's going to be a good end to the year for us, and hopefully we can meet a few of our friends that we played with this year. A few people have seen us a few times, and yeah, just have a great time and just, you know, bookend it really nicely.
Yeah.
I think the year started, our first gig of the year, we played the 100 Club in London, which was a big thing for us. So to start the year playing 100 Club, end it playing Corporation for Winter Rocks is, it's perfect, really.
Hey everyone, sorry to interrupt the interview mid-flow. I just wanted to say, if you like this episode and you want to see more, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button down at the bottom of the page. And if you want to be the first to see the brand new episode of In the Sewers, then don't forget to ding that little old bell. So come on everybody, ring my bell and let's get back to it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have had an amazing year, and hopefully next year you're going to go on to do a lot more big, bad, and beautiful things. But who would you love to support the most? Who, if somebody was going on to it and you think, you know what, I've got to support them, who would it be?
Well, why don't we all individually give an answer? You go first, Ben.
Yeah, you go first.
I go first. I think if I was to support anyone on the planet, it would have to be Guns N' Roses, wouldn't it? You know, that'd have to be anyone on the planet. But one thing that if Demolition 23 came to the UK, as they've recently done a few gigs in Finland and stuff like that, I would love to do that. That would be fantastic.
Lovely. Yeah. What about Kerry? Who would Kerry love to support?
Aerosmith, without doubt.
I was so disappointed they didn't come to the UK. I was so annoyed. Yeah. I got that ticket, 2 years in advance, and they were like, oh yeah, we're not coming. What? I was so annoyed.
Yeah, hands down Aerosmith, favourite band, so.
Lovely. What about Joe? Who would you love to support?
Neil Diamond, be good, wouldn't it? Something like Neil Diamond. Yeah, because he's massive. He's our kind of... No, probably Demolition 23 is a really good shout, and I thought genuinely they're sort of band that I could see us playing with and going down really well. So that's a realistic one, I think.
Realistic,
that's a realistic one. My favourite band, Cheap Trick, so I'd want to support Cheap Trick, for sure.
Oh, lovely. Oh, that's nice, Cheap Trick. They did really, really well when they toured with Def Leppard here in the UK. But I got back end of their gig in Newcastle. Like, for some reason my mate didn't pick me up on time. I never rely on mates. And we got the back end of it, and it didn't sound that great, and I was really disappointed. I don't know if the sound guy just had a day off, but I would love to see them again, because people are like, no, that's insane that you didn't enjoy it. And I was like, I'll have to catch them again sometime.
I saw them on that tour with Leopard, and you know what it's like when you play with big bands, is because we've been support bands, you get like a third of the PA, a third of the lighting rig. And I think that's probably the worst I've seen Cheap Trick, because it felt weird seeing them crammed into the middle of Def Leppard stage playing with like half the PA. But they'd be cool. But actually, I mean, obviously I'd love to support Aerosmith. I'd love to support Guns N' Roses. They'd be wicked. But Demolition 23 would be pretty awesome. I'm going to Finland tomorrow, actually, for a week. So maybe I can try and see Cat Nasty Suicide or something and see if he's up for it. It'd be good.
Just drop by. Just say, mate.
Find a beer, we'll get there.
If I can afford it, it's about £9 a beer, I think.
Yeah.
You get one, Joe. You get one beer.
One beer.
And that's all you're having. No more. What I have been asking at bands as well on this series is, who is your guilty pleasure? So somebody who a lot of people think, nah, they couldn't listen to them. I've had some great ones. I've had some disturbing ones, and some that have just been so out of the park. I've been a bit like, okay. So who is your guilty pleasure of any genre? It doesn't have to be rock. It could be any genre at all.
I think guilty pleasure is a weird one because it basically means shit, doesn't it? It means like, it means it's not cool. It's not cool to like them and stuff. But I don't know. I don't have guilty pleasures. I love pop music and I could love Wham and shit like that. I know that's not cool to like, and people would say that's a guilty pleasure, but yeah, I love a lot of 80s pop music, a lot of cheesy pop music.
80s pop was something pretty special, to be fair. So yeah, you're definitely with this cool kid anyway.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, actually. I mean, genuinely, I wasn't joking. I genuinely love Neil Diamond. I think he's an awesome songwriter. Yeah. I've got a bit of a soft spot for some Cliff Richard songs as well, but it's not a guilty pleasure because I genuinely like Neil Diamond and I like a lot of stuff I like a lot of 50s and 60s stuff. So nothing's a guilty pleasure if it's as long as it's not some terrible band who've done some horrific things in their kind of like band, although we do like Gary Glitter sometimes, don't we? So
come on to Gary Glitter a lot, yeah.
We do. Gary Glitter's our theme song as we come on stage. So Ben, what's your guilty pleasure? I bet you've got loads of guilty pleasures, haven't you? Is it Bewitched or something like that?
Well, I would probably say two guilty pleasures. Okay, so guilty pleasure number one would be, I'm going to sort of relate this to Kerry, okay, because one band that I absolutely love is the German band Bonfire. Okay, and
great band.
I think Bonfire is fantastic. I think they're fantastic, and Kerry sort of slated me for years, like like I don't know why you rave about them so highly, but other than that, E17. There you go.
London boys, right?
Well, I wasn't expecting that.
Just at Christmas or all year round? E17.
All year round.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
I was going to say they're coming out of the box around about this time of year, don't they? E17 with the puffer jackets. And
they do, yeah.
And all that.
Can't go wrong with some 90s pop, can you?
No, you can't. You definitely can't.
Of course you can't.
So I am going to wrap up the interview, guys, because it has been lovely chatting to you. But I know we've got one popping off to Finland, and we've got everybody else having a bit of a disaster of a day. So
Kerry's probably had a great day in his booth.
I bet Kerry's day has been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, what's that? Is that cognac or is it red wine? What are you drinking there?
Red wine.
Is it red wine?
Red wine. I've been letting it breathe. It's very nice.
Red wine.
I was going to say that's the biggest red wine glass I've seen.
Neil Diamond song, red wine.
You can relate on Kerry for that. Yeah.
That was full when I started.
Have you got your big glass, Kerry?
I've got my big glass.
So what I was going to say, ending on this note, is there any advice that you would give to anybody out there who was starting a band or thinking about it or just going through a bit of hard times? Because like you said, you started a band and then it kind of like dribbled off a little bit. It was just a solo project, but then you added people and then you moved people and things like that. But you've done everything so quickly and in an amazing fashion. So what advice would you give the lovely people out there?
Write good songs.
Yeah, that's
seriously. I mean, seriously, if something isn't good enough, bin it. Don't keep working on something that's not working. If it's not working, it's not right. If you don't like it and you don't dig it and your band don't dig it, it's not the right song. So get your sound sorted. Stick to it as well. So I think you can't say, "Oh, this is our metal song. This is our pop song. This is our thrash song." You got to stick to what you're good at, and get good people around you as well. I think the good thing, one of the reasons why we work so well and we've kicked on over the last 12 months, because we generally all get on and we're all on the same wavelengths and we like the same stuff. So get the right people around you too.
Yeah, exactly. Find like-minded people, and you're going to have to travel. That's the thing. A lot of these people aren't in your town, or your city or wherever you're from. You got to move around and get together and make music and come play with us.
Yeah, I think Kerry's hit the nail on the head there. I think, like Joe says, from the songwriting perspective, believe in your material. Of course, if something isn't working, don't play it. Strive for the best. But like Kerry says, if you're into something particular like we are, given how the state of local music these days, I guess, and the way, if you're playing like maybe a metal band or something that is super current at the moment, you might find it easier to sort of find members. But if you're playing the sort of thing that that we play, you might need to travel a bit or something like that. But there are people out there who are going to want to play it, and then just gig and have a great time, And I think it comes naturally. I mean, for the four of us, we sort of got together, and it does come naturally. We get together, we gel well, we play well, and enjoy ourselves. And I think that shows really. And
I think one last thing is really important as well for all bands is be realistic with what you think you're going to achieve as well.
Yes.
Because there's putting a band together is hard work. We deal with the trials and tribulations of it. You don't make a lot of money. Shouldn't really. If you're really in it for the money, you're probably doing the wrong thing. But be realistic. And I always kind of think back from the years I played in bands, and I kind of think I wish I'd done more. But if I spoke to myself when I was 15 and talked about all the things I have done, put records out, toured Europe, played this venue, played with that band, we've done some amazing stuff. We end up sharing brilliant experiences that you probably never thought you ever would. So I think just be grateful for it and be realistic.
Definitely. Yeah, because that's the thing. As long as you could get to yourself and say, do you know what? I had no idea that this is going to pan out as it is, but it's just a great experience anyway. And I think that's the thing that sometimes people miss out is the fact that, you're meant to experience stuff, not just do it, like you said, for the money, for the girls, for whatever you guys have to do it for.
But also as well, you never know what's going to happen. So like Kerry said earlier on, all the stuff we've ended up doing is almost because we've put music out, but it just, we've got really good we got to play Rebellion Festival this summer, for example, and things like Call of the Wild. We didn't go and ask to play, so hundreds of bands asked to play and get 100 opportunities, but we've been so lucky that we've never really asked to do anything. We've just been asked. And I think the more you get asked and the more you're available and the more you play and the better you are, the more people come and see you, the more opportunities you get. You just got to keep putting yourself out there and don't say no very often unless it's absolutely terrible.
Yeah, venues are looking for bands. They really want them. They really want these bands to come out and support and play and stuff. So yeah, it's out there. Just go and get it. Definitely.
Go and get it. So that is definitely the line for it. Well, thank you so much, guys, for taking the time out to chat to little old me, especially from Kerry's amazing boudoir there. It's beautiful. So who have you got on your wall back there? Let's have a look.
Do you want me to move? Okay.
Who've we got?
This is a bit of an art project that's took some years. We've got Hanoi Rocks up there, various flyers and things.
Black Rain. Love Black Rain.
Black Rain, yeah. Fireboys, Hanoi Rocks, lots of stuff.
It's a gorgeous piece of artwork. I can't wait to see the next installment, that's for sure. But thank you so much, guys, and best of luck at the weekend for Winter Rocks as well. That's going to be amazing. I'm sure you guys are going to blow the house down. But until I catch you next time, see you later, guys. Bye.
See you later. Adios.
See you later.
Thank you very much to the guys of Continental Lovers for taking the time out to chat to little old me. Like I said, they are playing at the Winter Rocks Festival that is happening at the Corporation in Sheffield. So if you fancy a nosy at what these guys have got and the rest of the bands that are playing the amazing festival, then please do hit the link in the description below. But also check out what the guys have done over on Spotify and follow them on all socials. So thank you very much, guys. I hope you have an amazing time. In next week's episode, I am talking to the monster of the valleys, that is King Kraken. The Welsh boys take the time out to chat to little old me about how we first became friends, how then they came to roaring success amongst the rock and metal scene, and what they've got planned going into 2024. But until next time, catch you later, Glamratters. Bye-bye.